So, American Beauty by the Grateful Dead, their fifth studio album, released in November 1917 on Warner Brothers, and it continued the folk, rock and country music style of the other album released by the Dead that year, Working Men's Dead. Two albums in 1 year. It's quite evident listening to it that the songwriting was influenced to a great extent by the folk harmonies and major key melodies by Dylan and Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young. And it was a period of songwriting partnership between Garcia and Robert Hunter, which proved very profitable, and certainly even Deadheads would consider this one to be almost a classic, and I would go along that. I really do find this is very accessible. Some of the Dead's work before this, and of course albums that followed, take some patience to get into, and are to a considerable extent, I feel, very self-indulgent. But here they stuck to relatively short songs, 3 to 5 minutes, which were accessible, amenable, and really was received by the music fan base very favourably. So I'm going to go through track by track as usual. So let's get on with it. Track one, there's Box of Rain. It's a country rock song with some sweet harmonies, and it starts us off with some tasteful Garcia guitar bits. When I listen to this, my favourite Dead album, I simply think of hot summers with a glass of wine or something stronger, wallowing in the moment. So the lyrics then to track one, Box of Rain. Well, I found out on the internet that the music was created by Phil Lesh, and he asked Robert Hunter to put some words to the song, and that was in anticipation of the death of his father. So the lyrics are very much about the focus on life, on this lyric, for example, puts it into context, I think. Inch your way through dead dreams to another land. Maybe you're tired and broken. Sort of suggests that your time's nearly up. And the words Box of Rain apparently was meant to represent the world we live in. And the song was supposed to help to put clarity in one's life. And wind, water, and the other word that escapes me now, were supposed to represent metaphors of jealousy, deception and selfishness. The other one was wind, water and rain. Those are the sort of representations of them. So all in all, it's a very melancholic song. It can be interpreted on both a micro or a macro level. It can be inward, looking at your own personal life, or it can be looking outward at the state of the globe as a whole. So that's what I got for the lyrics for Box of Rain. Track 2's Friend of the Devil. It's a quicker country picking song with acoustic guitars exquisitely played with mandolin. Country folk sing along, I thought. Grisman contributes pedal steel guitar on this. Friend of the Devil, lyrics here. Well, it's about being a criminal, being on the run, I guess, trying to evade your captors. That's the simple explanation. But there's some interesting additions by Hunter here. The fact that the man's got 2 wives and a lover, we're not quite sure how many children, and it's about making choices in life, some good and some not so good. suggestion that maybe the devil might be cocaine, and suggesting that he's a drug user. And I just love this excerpt from the song. Got 2 reasons why I cry away each lonely night. The first one's named Sweet Anne Marie, and she's my heart's delight. The second one is prison, babe. Sums it up, doesn't it? Track 3, a personal favourite, Sugar Magnolia. The pedal steel guitar way back in the mix, and the song has a strong emphasis on the shared vocals with delicate rhythmic chords. It's got CSN harmonies, that's for sure, and a touch of bluegrass thrown in. The lyrics to Sugar Magnolia. It's a personal favourite of mine, and it's about those carefree summer days with that beautiful girl on your arm. And yes, the day can feel even better maybe with a touch of Mary Jane, but you can get by without it as well. Peace, man. Track 4's Operator. It's really Bird's influence, of course. Pigpen on vocals, a rare offering for him. It's got a quirkier country tempo and a country blues surge on harmonica. Operator. Yeah, a desperate man trying to track down where his favourite woman is, who left in a hurry. Possible reference to working in a home with blue lights. Thought it might have been red lights. Yeah, you can interpret that as well. 5 is Candyman, a very slow ballad, gorgeous guitar from Garcia, liquid gold, and the hypnotic vocals. There's some heavenly pedal steel guitar work in the mid-section as well, and nice organ to solidify the tempo. Candyman, well, I think the lyrics refer to a sort of card shark who arrives in a sort of small community and encourages the locals to bet their last dollar on the turn of a card. They gamble their money away, and then of course things get rather lively, and there's also a bit of music to get us all up and running, and the women sort of watch on aghast at what's happening. Track 6 on American Beauty is called Ripple. It begins with a very slow country rhythm, yokel, I felt, style, but the mandolin is very impressive, played by one David Grisman. It's exquisite, and its easy rhythm promotes thoughts of the old Mary Jane in the summer. Nice chorus as well, a bit la-di-da-di-da, but nevertheless Crosby, Stills and Nash influences considerable. Lyrically, the impact of a stone on a pond, the ripple effect, is used as a metaphor to describe the impact it can have on people who appreciate song and lyrics, and passing that on from person to person. Although it may well get weaker as you pass it on, and smaller, it still has some sort of impact. And for those of us who are feeling that there aren't any ripples in our life, we can maybe get some from the environment. And here's an extract. If my words did glow with the gold of sunshine, and my tunes were played on the harp unstrung, would you hear my voice come through the words, the music? Would you hold it near as it were your own? It's a hand-me-down, the thoughts are broken. Perhaps they're better left unsung. I don't know, don't really care. Let there be songs to fill the air. Ripple in still water, when there is no pebble tossed, nor wind to blow. Next up is Brokedown Palace. It segues in from Ripple, and there's some very good Garcia pedal steel guitar on this track, and it's even slower than Ripple, very sleepy, and back to that Mary Jane, I guess. Weir's vocals are particularly melancholic, and Howard Wales plays piano. It's got got a lot of Crosby, Still and Nash influence on the harmonies. Well, lyrically, is it about being destitute after success has evaporated? And again, the opportunity to gain strength from nature as a means of recovering. Not quite sure what my interpretation is really, but here's a little extract. Fare you well, my honey, fare you well, my only true one. All the birds that were singing have flown except you alone. Going to leave the Brokedown Palace. On my hands and knees I will roll, 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 make myself a bed by the waterside. In my time, I will roll, roll, roll. Next up's Till the Morning Comes. Well, how do you like your country music? This is fast and zippy. Yeah, it's here it is, with tasteful short lead guitar jabs from Garcia. Nice enough. Lyric, I think it's about a new relationship. Track 9's Attics of My Life, a sombre country ballad with 3 lead vocalists in unison, Weir, Garcia and Lesh, and they sound okay. It goes on a bit too long, it's beyond 5 minutes. I think it's a song about memories, old memories, and still trying to find answers at the end of your life. Let's have an extract. In the attics of my life, full of cloudy dreams unreal, full of taste no longer, no tongue can know, and light no eye can see, when there was no ear to hear, you sang to me. I have spent my life seeking all that's still unsung, bent my ear to hear the tune, and closed my eyes to see, when there were no strings to play, you played to me. Yeah. Last track then on this classic Dead album, I think, is the classic tune Truckin. It's a cinch for the car, this one. Put it on the MP3 player or cassette or what, CD player, and just lay back and sort of make sure you don't crash into anything. This is this would be back to back with Born to Be Wild, and you're certainly in the groove. Weir's snappy vocals hit the right spots, and the organ's really funky, I think. Courtesy of Howard Wales. Some nice lead from Garcia again. Lyrically, well, it's about the lifestyle, isn't it? It's about being on the move. No city can hold you back. You can't imagine staying in any one town for the rest of your life, as you note with some of your friends who are doing this and claiming it's great and then crying on their lonesome and having regrets. It reflects on the ups and downs of life on the road. It's not all free of problems, and there's a nod to the use of illegal substances, which brings you into contact with the local law enforcement, to be sure. But the notion of taking a risk on your life rather than staying at home is the main message here. Life on the road isn't all excitement, but people pass through your life, and there are casualties, and of course hotel life. It can be a pretty lonely existence, but the benefits outweigh the headaches. So this summary then of American Beauty, released in 1970. This was a favourite of mine in that Grateful Dead catalogue, mainly because some of the psychedelic 25-minute episodes, I just couldn't get my head and tail around it. Probably my brain wasn't sozzled enough on LSD. And I really took to this one, but even though I was not exactly a great country music fan, but this certainly caught my ear. And there's some nice songs on here, some nice balanced musicianship, and certainly a record that I think is one of their strongest. So get to have a listen to it. It's called American Beauty. It's by the Grateful Dead, and it was released in 1970.